Florida beginning its long and expensive road to recovery following Hurricane Ian. So many homes just wiped out, thousands left with nowhere to go. Now, analysts are predicting home values in some of the highest risk areas of the state could plunge as much as 50% when markets factor in flood and storm costs from disasters like Ian. Joining me now, president and realtor at DeBianchi Real Estate and former $1 Million Listing Miami star, Sam DeBianchi. Sam, just discuss what this could do to home values on the West Coast, the Gulf Coast of Florida, in terms of rebuilding, because it's going to be a great deal more expensive to rebuild for homeowners.
Sure, but you have to remember, too, that people rebuild better than they build. So the quality of materials, how they're going to build these homes will be that much better than what they already were. So as far as home values, you know, there are plenty of articles that are going to come out there and say, well, home values are going to plummet. But the reality is the National Association of Realtors came out with a statistic from all of the past hurricanes all over the country, and home prices have actually increased the first year, and most of the time have increased even the second year, anywhere from 3% to 7%. So when we take into consideration hurricanes, what about earthquakes? What about tornadoes, snowstorms? You know, so there's lots of factors that come into play that when we look at home prices, values, what's going to happen, because we already had such high prices as well. I don't think that people are going to stop buying in South Florida or Florida in general. So, you know, we have to kind of take a step back and let people get back to where they were.
Mitch, Rochelle, jump in here.
Hey, Sam, I'm a fellow Florida resident, but I live on the East Coast, I guess, as do you. I guess my question is the massive migration that we've seen, and I'm one of them, from the Northeast to Florida or even California to Florida. Have some of those folks that you're talking to sort of canceled their trips down, not because of the, you know, flight cancellations, but they're rethinking the decision to relocate to Florida? Or is it just still full steam ahead to get out of places like New York, regardless of the weather conditions? I mean, did this chill the market at all?
Sure. I mean, I've been doing this since 2009, and I have never in all of these years have had anyone cancel because of a hurricane. And we've had plenty of hurricanes. New York has had hurricanes too. You know, so do people stop moving because of that? It's just, it literally is what comes with the territory. And people know that. And the one positive thing about a hurricane is that you can prepare. You know it's coming. It's not like living in California where you don't know if an earthquake's coming or the short time span with a tornado. So while that doesn't necessarily help the effect of the hurricane, at least you can escape. At least you can leave.
But it does look like that some people were not anticipating a hurricane that brought severe flooding. The Wall Street Journal wrote over the weekend, in all locations pummeled by Hurricane Ian, the percentage of homes covered by flood policies is down from 5 years ago. That you aren't forced to buy flood insurance if you don't have a mortgage on your home. And these policies throughout the history of the national federal flood insurance program have been subsidized by federal taxpayers, meaning people who don't live in flood-prone areas like the coast of Florida have been subsidizing these policies. They're historically inexpensive. Fewer people in Florida own them, so that leaves potentially the federal government and federal taxpayers on the hook for bailing people out who need money to rebuild because they didn't have flood insurance.
100%. And unfortunately, you know, there's nothing that can be done because of that. You know, were these people preparing or were these people, you know, expecting this devastating hurricane? You know, they knew it was coming. Did they know to the degree of which all of these things were going to happen? No.
Right.
And
but if you
it's
live,
a very sad situation.
Right. If you live in a flood area, you have to get the flood insurance. And some people are not forced to get it because they don't have a mortgage on the house, or if the house is not insured to the level it needs to be. Sam, I could talk to you all day long. Thank you for being here. Sam DeBianchi.